ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवण त्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुनिये शौनकादिऋषिभ्यो अत्र्यादिऋषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो आदित्यादिनवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओं श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ एकविंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच फ्रॉम 32 ॐ रजसत्त्वतमो निष्ठाः रजसत्त्वतमोजुषः उपासते हि इन्द्रमुख्यान् देवादीन्न तथैव माम इष्ट्वेह देवता यज्ञैः गत्वा रंस्यामहे दिवे तस्यान्त इह भूयास्म महाशाला महाकुलाः एवं पुष्पितया वाच व्याक्षिप्तमनसां नृणां मानिनां चातिस्तब्धानां मद्वार्तापि न रोचते वेदा ब्रह्मात्मविषयाः त्रिकाण्डविषया इमे परोक्षवादा ऋषयः परोक्षं मम च प्रियं शब्दब्रह्मसुदुर्बोधं प्राणेन्द्रियमनोमयम् अनन्तपारं गम्भीरं दुर्विगाह्यं समुद्रवत मयोपबृंहितं भूम्ना ब्रह्मणानन्तशक्तिना भूतेषु घोषरूपेण विशेषूर्णेव लक्ष्यते यथोर्णनाभिर्हृदयात् ऊर्णामुद्वमते मुखात् आकाशात् घोषवान् प्राणः मनसा स्पर्शरूपिणा छन्दोमयो अमृतमयः सहस्रपदवीं प्रभुः ओंकारात् व्यञ्जितस्पर्श स्वरोष्मान्तस्थभूषितां विचित्रभाषा विशतां विदतां छन्दोभिश्चतुरुत्तरैः अनन्तपारां बृहतीं सृजत्याक्षिपते स्वयं गायत्र्युष्टिक् अनुष्टुप् च बृहती पङ्क्तिरेव च त्रिष्टुप् जगत्यतिछन्दः यत्यष्ट्यति जगद्विराट् किं विदत्ते किमाचष्टे किमनूद्य विकल्पयेत् इति अस्या हृदयं लोके नान्यो मद्वेद कश्चन मां विधत्ते भिदत्ते मां विकल्प्यापोह्यते तु अहम् एतावान् सर्ववेदार्थः शब्द आस्थाय मां भिदां मायामात्रमनूद्यान्ते प्रतिषिध्य प्रसीदते। इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे एकोनविंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवतशरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरुशरणं मम श्रीसूतशरणं मम श्रीशुकदेवशरणं मम श्रीव्यासशरणं मम श्रीनारदशरणं मम श्रीकुमारशरणं मम श्रीब्रह्मशरणं मम श्रीविष्णुशरणं मम श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णशरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चदकर्हिचित् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थिति अथ एकविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच Saluting the Lord, the Guru Parampara. Now we are clearly understanding as to who are the ones who become worldly and why, and who are the ones who become spiritually and how. Those who are Rajas Sattva Tamo Nishtaha, and therefore Rajas Sattva Tamo Jushaha. Thus Indramukhyaan upasate Daivadin na tatha eva mam. So here is the clear indication as to where the problem at the root level is there. And at the root level, if the problem is not sorted out, then at the surface level we cannot rectify it. What we have to understand is Rajasattva Tamo Nishtaha. So Maya Krita Antakarana Karma Dehadi. With these three, as long as we are identified, we always will tend to fulfill the desires only at these three levels. Therefore, Rajas, Sattva, Tamo, Jushaha. Then the entire mind works only as to how to fulfill those desires. And one of the way is to propitiate the Lord, gods in different forms. And those gods we propitiate in the given prescription, and only for these Rajas, Sattva, Tamo desire. In that way, every moment, every day, every life keeps on getting spent in that way and has no time to think about the Lord, the Nirguna. So, Devadin eva de upasate na tatha eva mamo. This is how everybody, and we are also in that, but now we are given an information. This has to become very, very firm and strong in us. What is the information? Something other than this Rajastama, Sattvatamo, Joshanam or Sukha, there is beyond also. And that is obtained by the study of Upanishad and that type of lifestyle. Then he says, Ishtvaha Devata Yagnaihi. See, that person's entire thinking is like this, planning is like this. In that, there may be ego, arrogance sometimes. Ego, arrogance may not be there. He is genuine and honest and humble and simple. In that fashion only, he may be thinking all that. But this track of thinking, whether it is self created or guided by such type of people, or he may be following the books or literature of that sort, he will live life like this only. Thus, he will never be going towards Bhagwan. It may take even lives and lives also. So, what are his languages? Sample are given. These are the sample of how a person who is not absolutely finally spiritual, but who is a worldly samsari, even though he is doing sadhana, upasana, ityadi. How are his thinkings? Some samples. Remaining, you imagine. He says, Ishtvaiha devata yagnaihi. So he is in very good planning and conduction of all the yajnas to make the devatas prasanna. इष्टवाय देवता यज्ञ सो आई टोल्ड यस्टरडे देवता उपासना करने वालों का ही परमात्मा प्राप्ति में विघ्न बताया जाता है देन व्हाट टू टॉक अबाउट टोटली वर्ल्डली पीपल who never even imagine presence of Lord. They think they are individual, they are independent, their knowledge, wisdom is their own, and it works, and they can do whatever they want. Many are in this category. They are all ignorant along with that innocence added with arrogance. Slowly they will learn. Learning is to evolve. Evolution is to understand that something beyond is there as doer, and something beyond is there is to be reached as also. So I will do all yajnas here. Ištva devata yajnaihi. Ištva iha devata yajnaihi. Then gatva divi. As a result, I go to Swarga. Ramsyamahe. I will revel. So the sankalpas are of this type only. From the simple sankalpa of tomorrow morning, I'll get up and make this item for me to eat in the breakfast. It's a sankalpa. From that onwards, it's a minimum simplest sankalpa to the sankalpa of highest cadre of these Maha Yajnas I will do. As a result, I go to Swarga. This is how the minds of worldly people function. So this person says, morning that breakfast I'll make and revel in that, enjoy that. Then after that, I'll go to my work or sports or whatever. So to this person says, Ramsyamahe Divi, I'll go to the Duloka and then revel, enjoy. Then what do you do after that? Tasyante, I know Swarga will end, but I am already preparing by doing many other punya karma that when my yajna phala is over in the Swarga after Swarga Sukha, Iha Bhuyasma, I'll come back to the human life. And how do I come back to Mahashala Mahakulaha? We come back as the people born in a huge families and very royal and famous families we come and continue enjoying here also. Now, a visionaries who studied Shastra, this is what they think, and according to Shastra only they follow all Yajna Yaga. Definitely they go to Swarga and come back and are born definitely in Mahashala, Mahakula. But even this lifestyle of these people, also if it is obstruction to the truth or reality, then the people who are seeking Sukha Bhoga, conducting lot of Papa and Dukha, Papa and all that, Adharma, then how will they go to Narakadi and how much they suffer? And when they come back even to the world of earth, to which yoni he is thrown, even if he is born as a human, what sort of inner psyche is given to him? What are the situations that around are given to him? These are all the phala of any Bhautika Vada. So Bhagavan out of his kindness is giving the example of great people and saying that even their idea is a pushpita. These are all fruity or flowery language. This is how Maya works in our mind. That is what we have to understand. Many times we try to understand what's Maya. This is Maya. Where other than Paramatma, everything else we are thinking, everything else we are planning, everything else we are doing, and everything else we are getting. And it is continuously happening. That's called Maya. So, Mahashala, Mahakulaha, we become when we come back to this earth. This is how Evam. Evam is like this, and etc. etc. As we said yesterday, in this world only, from the Gaon to the town to the metro to the Cosmo to the other countries, from there to people are planning to the moon. So many people in India are already have bought some land in the moon. कोई जगह कोई एक एसोसिएशन है चंदा मामा में जगह बेच रहे हैं and people खरीद भी रहे हैं. Do you know that? There's a place. And even in 5 years, we can see Angaraka Mars, maybe they will send the plots. Properly laid out plots and approved by Angaraka Municipal Corporation. These are all the plannings. Evam pushpitaya vacha. Now, mind you, in this way, such books when we read, in this way, such people we talk and listen to, in this way, we also convincingly entertain thought in our mind. Will not that mind be vyakshipta in these things only? Obviously. Please, why I'm pausing so much and taking so much time to study these shlokas is giving chance for you and me to think what drama is happening in us. Unless we understand the drama and arrest it or stop it, we can't go for the higher. Underline this word vyakshipta manasam runam. For the people whose minds are in this way, thrown from one project to the other, one desire to other, one activity to the other, of this world and that world, we are all like that. Here is talking about swarga, includes all. Swarg mein jana, अच्छे घर में रहना, then there are all having lot of friends, neighbors, relatives, and having vastus, vilasa, bhoga, all you have to add. It's like now I'll buy a big house in the gated community. It's like Swarga. They will have good neighborhood, and in that places are there for playing. Swimming pool also will be there. All groceries, everything is available within the complex only. I need not go anywhere else. It will be so wonderful. The places for exercise, walking, gym. There will be home theaters also are there inside. That is like a Swarga, and people go there. And they go there and they remain such a alone, lonely fellow. They don't talk to the neighbor only. ये डर लगता है, ये शक होता है. By the way, are you understanding how our minds are working? Continuously, and whatever we do sankalpa, we take responsibility to fulfill it because it is an ego or prestige that I can't deny what I thought. Is it not? And I want to work towards it. If it doesn't work, I'll do something alternative. In this way, I'm thinking continuously. And as we think from the other side of the world, also the promptations come. You understand? This is how no, I'll go to America and I'll stay 4 months with my daughter, 3 months with my son, or 3 months with daughter, four with son, and with the grandchildren I play. No, they're all looking so good. They're all fine. They work also, and they invite you also, and they send you all the tickets, and you take all the saman and you go. You are missing Bhagavad Ramayana. You never understand it. मजा आता है वहाँ. And then you really spend it. And it's so glorious also there. And you once in a while you phone me or message me and say, Swamiji, I'm missing all the class. Then I have to also learn from you know. Even I am also missing you in the class. I will also say same. You are in your samsara, I am in my study. Who has sent us there? An example I am giving. And there also, you know how we get no 1 hour to our class somewhere online, nice one. Or offline you can listen, but you know I'm so busy and I'm gone there. They have invited me and they have decorated me. They did sanmana to me. All you know, so much. That's how we do, and we think Swami doesn't know ki there are 24 hours per day. If somebody wishes, they will anyway and everywhere in some way find the time to listen to class. इतना बेवकूफ तो होते नहीं ना स्वामी जानते हैं. And I know you are not Joe Biden or any Putin or Zelensky type ki so busy you are or Modi that everybody wants us and you have to make meetings and take big decisions and not regularly all the time. This is how we do. Even I do the same. My Pushpita Vacha is what? Let me finish Valmiki Ramayanam, take it Adhyatma Ramayanam, and let me finish Bhagavad Mahapurana. In that place, let us think about something, maybe Yoga Vasishta or so. A morning after Mandukya, let us take Taittiriya Upanishad, and Vidurnit is going on well, then Vishnu Sahasranama going on well. After that, take Lalita Sahasranama. These are all my Pushpita Vacha. But at least we are in touch with divinity. Then I am doing nowadays Stotrams when they are over. I'll do this Maharayana Upanishad in the morning class. Then in line are the Sutta Samhita and also Patanjali Yoga Sutra. If possible, definitely in this life we do Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And never forget Gita with Bhashyam, we promised to. And without seeing at least some adhikaranas of Brahma Sutra, we cannot die. ये सब स्पिरिचुअल लोगों के पुष्पित वाक. In that everything there is samsara only. Is it not? Is there an expression of God near to the God but not God? No, my God. In this way, everyone in their own Pushpita and Falita Vakya, Falayukta Vakya, they are only reveling in that. This is what is the less information or Maya we are caught up in. Evam Pushpitaya Vacha and Manasa, Vyakshipta Manasam Runam. This is the technique or trick in this way the mind works. Mind is Vyakshipta only in that. Once you think to go to market and buy some things, mind cannot think otherwise. It will go to market, it will look at the things, then whatever was in agenda, along with that some 10 more items it will buy, and other things it will see, अभी बैग में जगह नहीं है या पर्स में पैसे नहीं है या अभी तुरंत जरूरत नहीं है, नेक्स्ट विजिट में मैं खरीदूंगी. Means for next visit already you plan and go. In this way, having lived the life continuously, while doing so, the 2 points are what? Very important. Mani namcha atistabdhanam. They are mani, means they are abhimani. They are abhimanis, they are identified the upadhis only, dehendriyadi. And the atistabdha means because of the successes they gain in that, because of the practical sukha they get in that, they become so much stabdha or garvishti or ahankara yukta that they don't want to change their idea or opinion of that comfort. Even when Guru Shastra says there is something higher to seek, they say हमको यही अच्छा है. Mani and Ati Stabdha. Otherwise, why not people regularly do some satsang, study and do their japa, quieten the mind, go deep inside through meditation and reach the self? They are Mani, Abhimana, they are comfortable with the Dehatadhatmita only. They go to health insurance, they do the life insurances, and they go to all doctor, they get checked up, they go through all the monitoring. सब बढ़िया मतलब क्या हो रहा है उधर एज ए बॉडी आई मस्ट बी फिट एंड हेल्दी टू डू व्हाट टू एंजॉय द भोग. Some problem comes, again they spend lakhs, go to hospital, get sick. Again what? Again to come back and bhog. And they're afraid of going to some Atmas or anybody because they tell, Beta, they have the other chodo, tattva dhyan karo. They're afraid. They don't go there only. They don't invite all, they don't inform also. Is it not? Atistabda. This stabdata is not ready to change one's own opinions. Very strong it is. That peculiar ego, it can come because of money, because your study, because of position of yours in the society, because your achievements, because your bhoga. किसी भी कारण से स्तब्धता आएगी. Is it not? Like the youth children, 17, 16 years they come. From where that stabdhata comes, very funny. They don't listen now to anyone. And listen to some nonsense friends of their own and get themselves destroyed or mistracked or wrong track में चले आते. स्तब्ध. Such people, Maninam Chatistabdhanam, Bhagavan says, Madvarta api narochate. To such people, the information that there is God, there are scriptures, there is a study, there is all contemplative meditation, वो रोचते ना उसको रोचते मीन्स बोथ वो एनलाइटन नहीं होते हैं या रुचि भी नहीं लगता उसमें. Neither they get exposed to it nor they find taste in that. मद्वार्ता अपि न रोचते. And in the society, 95 to 99% people are like that. And mind you, we said yesterday already, those who visit all temples, pilgrimages, among them also 95 98% are going to the God only for something else other than Bhagwan. They're all again samsari. The only 3 or 4% who talk about to the Lord, give me the mukti, give me the jnana, give me the bhakti. Among that also, only 2-3% are there. Oh, with jignasa and maturity, they ask for it. Others ask out of frustration. अब बहुत हो गया जेल के संसार, भगवान मुझे किसी आश्रम में दाखिला दो या समथिंग दे आस्क. This is how it is. And where do we stand here? We are not here to think about people. Bhagavan says here, this is how the mind works. This is how we become worldly because of Pushpita Vakya. This is how we deny ourselves an opportunity to contemplate and meditate on the divine. They stay in Kashi 30 years. One of our class members are in Kashi. From there, now they have gone to Ayodhya. Just now I got a call half an hour back. On the way from Kashi to Ayodhya, they did Ganga Snan, remembering all of us. So every one of you got Punya. Telugu people, today you chanted Kashi Panchakam also. They stayed there for months and years, lifelong only, but their work is something different. not divine. No, I'm not blaming it and I'm not belittling them. Please don't misunderstand. How the mind and Maya works because of Pushpita Vakya, I'm saying. In the very temple, they sell coconut, they sell sweets, they sell all flowers, but they don't look at the God. देखो आप पूछो बहुत सारे दुकानदार वहाँ मंदिर के चार आस्क देम हाउ मेनी टाइम्स यू वेंट टू टेम्पल टुडे दे से 20 दिन हो गया जा करके. I'm not blaming them. They are the jivas evolving in their evolution stage. They are at that level. They are million times better than us because they are at least in the proximity of the God. On the name of God, they are all doing all the vyapara. That way they are better. But along with that, the goal is Bhagavan. The thought doesn't come. That's the Maya. बट इन स्लोली इट मे हैपन दे से हम भगवान के सामने हैं तो उनकी कृपा से हो जाएगा दैट मच जेन्यूटी दे हैव बट द नेक्स्ट स्टेप देन डू मॉर्निंग एंड इवनिंग अराउंड श्रवणम मदनम चिंतनम ध्यानम दे डोंट डू. See the law, the Pujari Pandits who are doing Abhisheka to the so-called famous temples, how much of they in the deep contemplation on the truth who is standing there in the form of idol for whom they are doing Upasana Puja? देखो वहां तक माया पहुंच जाते हैं. They're satisfied with that. कि I'm getting this chance to do Abhishekam Puja and I do the Arati and show it to everyone. That's the biggest post in comparison with whatever others do. But that is not the ultimate also. I'm giving you example which Lord has not given. He generally gave people say we do punya, go to Swarga, come back and born in a big families and continuously enjoy our lives. This is what Bhagavan said. With that the mind is Vyakshipta. And they don't listen to other Stabdha and the identified Upadi Mani. For them Madhvarta apina rochit. They will never be in the vicinity of such satsang also. उनके अराउंड आश्रम में ही कोई सत्संग निरंतर होता होगा 20 साल दे स्टे दे डोंट गो. Let us not fall into that category. We have to have the only ultimate goal of experiencing Paramatma in ourselves as our Atma. So too, the same Paramatma is there, reveling in everything that is expressing in the form of Nama Rupa and whatever the modifications. सब भगवान है उस स्थिति में हमको पहुंचना एंड इट इज नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी एफर्ट. It needs a highly evolved contemplative deep mind. For that, how much we have to withdraw with Viveka, Vairagya and all, you all know it. Clear? Now, having said so, in the next few shlokas, now Bhagavan talks about a huge topic. Though the discussion is about the Pushpita Vakya are there in the Veda itself. So we have to follow Veda. Veda only said Pushpita Vakya. So we are going, what is wrong in that? To that, all answer is given. Now, the subtlety of the Veda, the expansiveness of the Veda, the depth of the Veda, it is incomprehensible by any individual by his efforts. Only Bhagavan knows it, and whomever Bhagavan blesses, some of the people know some aspect of it. Many others either don't go there, never resonate, never understand. Some of them half understand, some misunderstand. Some misunderstand are those who take this Pushpita Vakya Yukta Karma Upasana for the Bhoga alone is the purpose of Vedas. So they are all the karma kandis. No, amna yasya kriyarthatvat anarthakyam atadarthanam. That's their famous sentence. Wherever you see in the Vedas, do this yajna, that yajna is said. They were predominantly Vedas are for doing yajna and karma kanda. Get the results. And by mistake, once in a while, here and there, they talked about Brahma and Atma, but it's very small portion. They were not at all important. Is it not? Like the Gita Rahasya and all. Every chapter you see Bhagavan says fight, fight, fight. The Gita is only for Karma Rahasya. It is not for Jnana. Jnana here and there. Sometimes it's like just incorporated, that's it. That's what that Abnayasya Kriyarthatvat. The entire Vedas are only for Kriya. Anarthakyam atadarthanam. Other than that, don't talk that Vedas talk about Brahma and Atma. That's how the Karma Khandins discuss, argue, and they do that. Vichitra. So this is one portion of discussion about Veda, where carried away by Pushpita Vakya, following the Vedic injunction only, Definitely people get the Swargadi Loka, but none of them are ultimate. This is how they Pushpita Vakya say, Paramatma, truth, reality is Vartapi Narochate. For that only we gave all world example. We gave example of the people who so-called spiritual people also we give. All that is over. Now in this next last five slokas, Bhagavan is talking about some topics of Vedas. Means how to understand Veda. Veda, how it is born. What is its expression. Very complicated subject. Very tough subject for anybody to study. But if this is understood by somehow putting effort for 1 month, 2 months, studying every word and all, some special revelation come to us regarding so many things. Relation between Parabrahma, the creation, the Vedas, what is said in the Veda, all that बड़ा दिमाग हमारा खुल जाता है पढ़ने से. बट उसके लिए उतना ताकत चाहिए, वो आपको एक्सप्लेन करने वाला होना चाहिए. I can't explain, only will touch the subject. First one we started yesterday, some statement of fact. What is that? Sloka 35. Veda Brahmatma Vishayaha Trikanda Vishaya ime Parokshavadah Rushayaha Paroksham Mama cha Priyam. Four lines are there in this sloka. First is what? Trikanda Vishayaha ime Vedaha. Yes, when you and I look superficially to the Vedas, Vedas have these three kandas as their content or subject or Vishaya. ये तीन कांड वेद में है. What are the Tina? Yagna Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Clear? But when you have a little more sensitivity or subtlety, what we will know is the first two Kanda of Karma and Upasana are aiming at the third one. Otherwise, the main purpose of Veda is the third called as Jnana Kanda only. In that Jnana, final point is what? Whether in that Jnana Kanda, hundreds of Upanishads may be there, hundreds of mantras may be there in that thousands. They may talk about different vada, different examples, how much ever they give. The outcome final of all of them is only Brahma Atma Vishaya. The subject matter ultimately of the Vedas is Vedanta. The subject matter ultimately of the Vedanta is Mahavakya. The subject matter ultimately of the Mahavakya is Sarva Vyapaka Brahma alone is the Atma in me. That is Brahma Atma Ekatva Bodha. This is the final thing which Veda speaks about. And to prepare one to that, the other Karma Pasana Kanda it gives. And tempts us to do those by giving us the results there. Those who don't subtly understand it, they work according to the Vedas, the Karma and Upasana only for the result. They will not look beyond. Such people are the lower bird in that tree of the Mundaka Upanishad. But that bird in the tree is better than these people because the bird, though it is eating the karma phala at each of the branch, in between, looking at the Lord, the higher bird. Dvasuparna Sayuja Sakaya Samanam Vruksham Parishasvajate Tayoho Anyah Pipalam Swadvati Anashnan Anyah Vichakashiti. उसका वो उस तरफ देखना ही धीरे धीरे that bird from the lower branches is coming near to that branch where that other bird is there which is watching doing nothing. Then as it comes closer to it, the jadoo happens, it merges in that higher bird. Remains only one Pakshi, that Brahma Pakshi in us. Now, the Brahma Pakshi and Jiva Pakshi are there. The Jiva Pakshi is doing karma, getting the phala in the samsara vriksha. Slowly we reach to that. When you look at it, देखोगे नहीं तो क्या करें अभी? So here Bhagavan is making this statement. In fact, please Vedas are finally having the subject of Brahmatma Vishaya. Any other subject which is there in Veda where Atma is identified with any of the Upadhis and becomes Jiva. And then Brahma is interpreted as a Jagat of various lokas and variety of Upasana Karma Kanda are told to perform, as a result of which you go there and enjoy it. They're all not final thoughts. That's what Rochanartha Falashruti, as we studied in the Mandukya morning class, here also the same thing. Then why don't you say directly? Because this is what we have to give a minute's time to understand. Ki parokshavadah rushayaha. Rishis are the ones who speak the truth parokshame, not straight away. Because who are listening, who are studying, we don't know. Therefore, they should not be misguided or they should not be forced or thrusted, imposed upon. Because a ultimate spirituality is an evolution. It is not insistence. It is not compulsion. It cannot be commandment. ये तलवार लेके ब्रह्म जानो नहीं तो तुमको मारूंगा ऐसा नहीं होता हो. It has to come from inside. Therefore, in a paroksha rupa, they put that one. In the pratyaksha rupa, they tell us about the falashrutis. फलश्रुति रिलेटेड एक्टिविटीज. सो प्रत्यक्ष में ये दिखते हैं बट परोक्ष में वो छुपा रहता है. एंड दोज हु हैव लिटिल सेंसिटिविटी, लिटिल हम्बलनेस, टू देम समहाउ दैट परोक्ष परमात्मा दर्शन होता है. मीन्स देयर इज समथिंग लाइक परमात्मा दिस पोर्शन ऑफ वेदांत, दे गेट इंटरेस्ट टू स्टडी दैट. सो वेदाः परोक्षवादाः ऋषयः. नो दिस इज हाउ एवरीवेयर यू गो. आप घर में how many times you talk to your children or the even wife or even bahu directly on the face? When you talk on the face, they don't take it. Very rare they are there who totally surrender and receive what you say face to face. Many a times you talk paroksha rupa only. Sometimes it may hurt, but it works. Is it not? You see in our classes how many times we are given the information or knowledge in a paroksha rupa. Somebody else's example we take. Or we take the Shastra Satsanga alone as the means to tell some important things. That would have been spoken directly to you over phone. फोन करके मैं बताऊँ आपको, आप रेगुलर नहीं आ रहे हो, इस तरह होता. बट आई डोंट टेल लाइक दैट. परोक्ष में बोलता हूँ मैं. एंड यू बीइंग सो इंटेलिजेंट एंड सेंसिटिव, यू कैच इट. यू नॉट प्रैक्टिस, आई नो, बट यू कैच इट. That is how, without any harm, the thing is conveyed, or less harm. When you tell anybody something, and when they are stabdha and mani, like of the earlier sloka, they won't take it. Not only they don't take, they reject and they hate so much that they hate everybody now. All those people who talk about Paramatma, they hate and they don't go, and they totally get denied. That's how the children co-parents me. You know, they see the child is there watching TV. Then wife and husband talk. Dekho, the neighbor's child is so wonderful, he is not watching TV. He's studying well, that's why he got 10 marks more than our child. They deliberately talk so that their fellow will listen. Is it not? And they will understand it. अरे they are indicating to me. अगर थोड़ा common sense है वो TV बंद करके देखेगा, पढ़ाई करेगा वो. Or if he's an arrogant fellow, you will go to the neighbor and fight with him. तू आज से पढ़ेगा ही नहीं, नहीं तो मेरे से ज्यादा मार्क आ रहा है तेरे को, तू भी मेरे साथ टीवी देख. एक बिगड़ेलू है तो he will do like that. But don't we do that? परोक्षवाद. प्रत्यक्ष में आपको कर्म कांड, उपासना कांड दिखता होगा, परोक्ष रूप में वो दिखाते, बट दैट इज अल्टीमेट. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. आवर जीनियस, आवर सेंसिटिविटीज कीप ऑन परस्यूइंग व्हाट इज द बेस्ट, not taking whatever we see immediately as the best one. That's why yat shreyah syat. This is how the question asked by all disciples, the answer to which becomes a great shastra. Is it not? Even you also, whenever you talk to your guru, the pratyaksha is one. Straight away you decide and you tell them, खबरदार मैं तुमको information दे रहा हूँ. But what is actual parokshvada? That you propose, tell कि ये मैं करना चाह रहा हूँ. Is it okay? Is there anything better? Then he will say, this is good what you do, but this can be added to that. If you don't propose at all, straight away you ask him what is best for him, he will tell this one. If he loves us, that Guru, Paroksha Rupa mein he will tell us. That depends on how we tune to him. So, Parokshavaadaha Rushayaha. Now see Vishnu Sahasranama. प्रत्यक्ष रूप से there are 1000 names of Vishnu. But अगर अंदर जाकर ढूंढोगे तो every name is almost revealing Parabrahma only. That's the Parokshavad. Like Bhagavad Gita. Fight, युद्ध करो, ये करो. प्रत्यक्ष इतना लग रहा है. परोक्ष में क्या है? You fulfill this dharma to purify yourself. Then after sarvadharman pariti, do sarvadharman pariti after that, and only reach Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. अब आंखों से ऊपर ऊपर देखने से आप क्या देखना चाहते हो वही दिखता है. वो लोग क्या दिखाना चाहते हैं वो देखने के लिए you have to be subtle. Is it not like somebody comes to take some help from? So he will do only parokshvada in the beginning. He'll just talk about how are you, why are, and he will tell his situation something. He just parokshvada. His idea is what? He wants some help from you. Then you only ask finally कि बता ठीक बात है समझ गया अब बताओ मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. Then he will. Like our that Sudhama. Parokshavad. He didn't ask Krishna directly. My wife has sent me. I want wealth. वो फटे पुराने कपड़े देख के परोक्षवाद कृष्णा अंडरस्टूड he did not give him anything but he just blessed they got everything there. And one more thing, paroksham mama cha priyam. Bhagavan says why in pratyakshata we look at each other deshakala vastu baddha dehadi, then all the respect goes away. That is why the guru stay somewhere once in a while only they give darshan. Temple में भी everybody is not allowed inside. Only pujari goes. बाकी सबको दूर से ही दर्शन करना है. Bhagwan likes that parokshata only, not pratyaksha he will come. He will bless us through our own parents, through everyone who is helping us is he only, but not pratyaksha. Paroksham cha mama priyam. And he in many places spoke also. I myself am in the form of this world, in the form of all the Dina, all the Brahmana, all the ghosts. If you worship them, it is a direct worship to me. Is it not? That is also parokshatva. You need not. You feed the mouths of Brahmana, stomachs of Brahmana, it reaches me. That is a parokshata. Go seva karo, it is a seva to me. Nara seva, Narayana seva, Jana seva, Janardana seva. Is it not? Parokshavadah rushayah paroksham mamacha priyam. That's so. Because majority in every case are always of the karma kandi people. They want some or the other result. That's how their individualities are there. But only वो बोलकर तत्व नहीं बोला तो भी complete नहीं है. Only तत्व बताओ ये नहीं बताए तो भी complete नहीं है. Therefore प्रत्यक्ष रूपेण कर्मोपासना परोक्ष रूपेण ज्ञान कांड है. So Vedas do have these three kanda, but ultimately they are talking about Jnana Kandam, in that also Brahmatma Vishaya. In Gurudev's life, he made us do so many programs, this and that. They're all paroksha. Pratyaksha Rupa, what he wants us is study Shastra, understand the Tattva, meditate and realize. That is what is hidden behind whatever he guided us in. All of that doing so will qualify us for it. There are two ways. One, we are already first only told that your goal is Brahmatma Bodha, then you are at this stage. Therefore, when you conduct like this yoga, then you become qualified for that. This is one way. Second way is what? अब मैं जो कह रहा हूँ करो तुम. When you do that, naturally the qualification comes. Then you are prepared. No, अब मैं आपको ब्रह्म विद्या देता हूँ. Is it not? You can see all examples. Example Nachiketa straight away asked Brahma Vidya, but he was tested with all temptations. He denied. He is qualified. He is given that. In these other Upanishad of Prashna, they went there. He did not teach them first of all. He said, "Ek saal raho, tapasya karo, main test karta hu." Then you are given the jnana. Each one is different. In Bhagavad Gita, he never asked jnanam only. But unless the jnana laksha is not shown, he will not set right in his mind's confusion now. He is in such a confusion, Arjuna. For both decisions, there is a problem. Lado bhi problem, nahi lado problem. Lado to you have to kill your own people or get killed by him. Nahi lado to you will not get the Raja or they will chase and kill you. They're all problems only. He's such a confusion. He'll have to be shown the ultimate goal. Even though Arjuna did not ask, Bhagavan showed goal. Though he showed ultimate goal, but he said immediate goal is fight war. See the point there? अर्जुन कहते हैं फिर लक्ष्य परमात्मा है तो मैं जाता हूं ना ध्यान करने मेरे को युद्ध क्यों करने को कर चुप युद्ध करो पहले अभी finish this and do that. This in the beginning. But as Arjuna heard all 18 chapters, he said, Karishya Dava, what you said is right. This is the means, that is the goal. He does it. So what we have to catch from all of that is, any literature, in the literature, mein sabse highest authority of Veda also. In that also, how much of Pushpita Vakya are there? Tempting us about karma, upasana for Paramatma, for higher and Sukha Bhoga, they are all not ultimate. Even though Pratyaksha Roop se that is appearing, But the Paroksha Rup say they are all talking about, the Vedas talk about ultimate truth only. That is why around that Karma Kanda portion only one or the other Upanishad also put. So, by heart this meaning of this mantra. Paramatma Vishaya Vedaha Trikanda Vishaya Ime Parokshavada Priyaha Parokshavada Rusheha Paroksham Cha Mama Priyam. In that the world, everybody straight away told that तुम वेदांत पढ़ के ध्यान करके तत्व को जानो, फिर बाकी मजा नहीं होता ना. When the creation is there, there should be some entertainment also. Like in a movie, the hero saw heroine, heroine saw hero, both of them loved each other. Heroine told her parents, he told his parents, they agreed and marriage हो गया. 2 मिनट भी ज़्यादा नहीं होगा सिनेमा, और उसमें only the director, producer, actor will see. Nobody will see the movie. But paroksha में आई है. Ultimately, they have to come together. But how much of maros masala is added in the pratyaksha rupa? You understand? So, and you watch it so excited. You know in the heart, finally वही होने वाला है. Is it not? Paroksham. In this politics also you can see. Pratyaksha Rupa, they do all promises. But in the Paroksha, जाए लोग या देश भाड़ में, we only get our benefit. That sort of politicians also are there. Is it not? Like the judge. Pratyaksha Rupa, he gives punishment. But Paroksha idea is what? That this fellow in that jail should reconcile himself and come out fresh not to do such crime. Like Pratyaksha, we get disease. But Paroksha kya hai? Through the disease, Lord is indicating these are the harmful places of your body. Don't go there or don't consume this. That is the thing to be taught. But that is Paroksha Rupena taught, but that is the goal. Pratyaksha Rupena, he shows the symptoms and diseases. That's how we have to understand. Now come these 4 shlokas, very crucial. Shabda Brahma Sudurbodham Pranendriya Manomayam Anantaparam Gambhiram Durvigahyam Samudravatu. Shabda Brahma Sudurbodham Pranendriya Manomayam Anantaparam Gambhiram Durvigahyam Samudravatu. I don't know what I'm feeling of this shloka. I'm not finding words to explain from last 3 days. Where to start from? Both ways we'll try and see. What is there is only Brahma, first of all. Okay. The expression of Brahma is Shabda first. Then he became Shabda Brahma. In that initial Shabda, be attentive. There's no differentiation. It's only Shabda Rupa. That's called Omkara or Nada. Now that Shabda, Omkara, Nada, for various reasons, that's what a very huge topic to study. As it went on in time or through a person, it started taking different directions. Then it became syllables or the letters, alphabets, varna. Those varnas coming together, they became pada. Those padas started creating the vastus. And with that vastus, the whole world is made. And in the made world, the same Shabda created all the rules, regulations, desires, position of how to fulfill the desire, the techniques. In this way, an endless ocean of samsara made from the Shabda Brahma, to understand which is impossible. That is the meaning of this shloka, literally. Word by word, we'll see again. So, actually, whatever we see here in the form of forms, all of them are names only. And Mandukya you have studied, so it becomes easier for me to explain to you. All the names are nothing but words only. All the words are nothing but aksharas. All the aksharas are nothing but nada. All nada is nothing but omkara. Omkara nothing but parabrahma. That parabrahma who expressed as Shabda in the beginning, later on, that same Shabda Parabrahma, listen carefully, in time through various rishis, have as got expressed as a countless number of mantras and Vedas. In that, the number of varieties so much, nobody can comprehend all of that. except me, Bhagavan says. What it means here, I am telling you. Veda here is all knowledge. Okay. All knowledge is the Vedanta knowledge of Brahma Tattva and the other knowledge of everything else. Because Veda means knowledge, it contains every knowledge. Every knowledge, if you study our Mundakopanishad, the Paravidya, Parabrahma, and then the Aparavidyas of all other. There he talked about four Vedas and six Vedangas, but in general, in today's world, every knowledge, physics, chemistry, mathematics, zoology, autonomy, physics, all the sciences जो आप कहते हो, the engineering knowledge, the technical knowledge, and the medical knowledge, your financial knowledge, your ruling the kingdom knowledge, ये सब शास्त्र 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 ही कहते हैं कि नहीं? All of that is शास्त्र. रसायन शास्त्र, भौतिक शास्त्र, गणित शास्त्र, खगोल शास्त्र, भूगोल शास्त्र, वैद्य शास्त्र, राजनीति शास्त्र, आर्थिक शास्त्र. Everything is shastra. Shastra is jnanam. Now all that jnanam is in shabda only. So how much way this jnana got expanded, you see, like a samudra. And all that is jnanam, all that jnanam is shabdatmakam. And all that shabda came from Brahma. That is all Shabda Brahma. No, endless it is. It's going on. People are more and more discovering in every field more and more subtlety or more and more expanse. Endlessly the science is growing on. All that science is Shastra only. Shastra is Shabda. In that all, what is to be gained and what is to be done and what is to be avoided. That is what they write. Like morning class, we saw the four words. Heya, Gneya, Apya, Pakya. This is what the entire Shastra. What is to be gained and how to be gained, and to gain that what are the qualifications required, what are the obstructions to be eliminated. Some Shastra वही कहते हैं. What Vaidya Shastra says, what is Gneya, health, what is Heya, these are the things, what is the Apya, the medicines, what is the Pakya, जो भी अंदर infection है उसको निकाल देना. Mathematics, if you see Arthashastram, what is the Apya in Gneya in the Arthashastra? Soundness in the finances of the entire nation. And Heya, what is to be done? You reduce the imports. See, Kallavraj 121 imported products are stopped. खुद बना वाले project के अंदर. So you have to reduce the imports to save our own forex, whatever language you use it. So that is what is called Heya. And what is Apya? Apya is whatever natural resources we have, what are the human resources we have, how to club them. Then what is Pakya? The people are lazy. How to bring them out of laziness? Is it not? Slowly, somehow or the temptation देखकर सबको active बना दो. Then that negativity of laziness goes away. All the four make a beautiful subject of the finance or the national financial growth. Are you understanding? All that is knowledge again. That knowledge comes in the form of words on the papers, but before that, it is in the mouth. Before that, it is only in the form of thoughts only. Everything. That's why I said this portion is so interesting if you are interested. It's very sublime it is. So Bhagavan says Shabda Brahma is Veda. I told you Shabda Brahma, Parabrahma, Aparabrahma and Shabala Brahma. Parabrahma is Truth, Aparabrahma is Ishvara, Shabala Brahma is Jiva, Shabda Brahma is Vedas. So Shabda Brahma Sudur Bodham. It is impossible to comprehend it in its entirety. Sudur Bodham, it's very impossible. Its entire process is not understandable. Forget about the ingredients in that. So many variety of ingredients are there in this. Ved mein. No, karma kanda, upasana kanda, which kanda for which one, which result, and how all of them have come. उसमें ऐसा ही क्यों करना है, कैसे करना है? सुदूर बोधम बाबा. They tell us कि इस तरह से पानी घुमाओ, उस तरह से पानी घुमाओ, ऐसे आहुतियां डालो और अग्नि को ऐसे उनके through the churning of those wooden cups you bring out the pure agni. अब इतना सुदूर ऐसा क्यों करो भाई? Why not I use lighter? No, you can't understand it. Therefore, you may deny and use lighter, but the phala of the original yajna will not come. But why it is said like that? It is sudur bodham. There is a reason there. There is reason in the steps that are involved. There are reasons for the mantra ucharana there and the ahutis that are offered for every step. It is Sudurbodham. Now वो टॉपिक हो गया. पुष्पित वाच फलित फल fruitful and flowery language distracts us from the path of the truth. That topic पूरा खत्म. Now we are not discussing that. उसको मत लाओ इधर. Here in general, the difficulty in understanding Veda in general he is saying. Then he will add this. Such as Vedas, they are so infinite. Some people who are at the superficial level, they definitely are enchanted by the Pratyakshavad of Karma Kanda, and they talk only that language. That doesn't mean that Veda is only that. Veda to Brahmatma Vishaya ultimately. That's so to justify that point also, and he's adding extra information. The extra information is Shabda Brahma Sudur Bodham. Okay, Shabda Brahma Sudur Bodham. क्योंकि उसको पढ़ाने वाले भी नहीं है, इसलिए तो लुप्त हो गए हो. somebody of some foreign country आके नाश करने का उतना लो लेवल नहीं होता हमारे वेद. Our mandiras and our rishi parampara, Sanatan Dharma is not a small kilona that some nonsense people who are barbarian and rakshasic that they can destroy. उसका अंतरार्थ ये है कि we are not deserving, therefore for the time being Lord is hiding. Through somebody he'll have to do, therefore he sent them. Again, in our Hindus only, when the people of sincerity grow, all of that comes out. कोई नाश तो होता नहीं इसका. इतना हल्का फुल्का थोड़ी नाश होने के लिए सनातन धर्म. कोई छू भी नहीं सकते उसको, छुपा सकते. So Shabda Brahma Sudurbodham, Vedas are impossible to be comprehended, unfathomed in all their aspects. One word understood. Second is what? Durvigahyam. You cannot revel in it like in any small river or pond or swimming pool that you can take your bath. Durvigahyam. Vigahyam means to be able to enter and play as you want. How much struggle we are going through. See in the morning Upanishads, if the Bhasha is not there, we would have never understood only. That is the meaning of Durvigahyam. Like a बड़ा समुद्र में आप अपने मस्ती से तैर नहीं सकते. Some मछुआरे उनको necessity है, life all they lived there only, they were there able to. You and I only किनारे पे ना अंदर गए, big waves and tides, where it will pull us only inside. Big ships and boats only get dissolved in that. What to talk? That is called Durvigahyam. Vigaha means entering and enjoying our own swim like we swim in your own swimming pool easily. ऐसा नहीं है वेद. दुर्विगाह्यम. Then other word he uses gambhiram. What is the gambhiram? Is so deep it is, like an ocean. So deep the depth inner meaning. That's what paroksha priyahi devaha. Very paroksha the meaning very deeply inside. ऊपर ऊपर आप शब्दों में फंस नहीं सकते. शब्दों में फंस जाएंगे, ऊपर ऊपर देखोगे आप. सो इट इज गंभीरम, वेरी डीप. एंड देन अनंत पारम कि इट इज एंडलेस, शोरलेस. सो वेद एंडलेस, शोरलेस, गंभीर, वेरी डीप, दुर्विगाह्यम, वन कैन नॉट इजीली गो एंड ट्रेवल इन दैट. एंड आल्सो सुदुर्बोधम, इट इज इम्पॉसिबल फॉर वन टू अंडरस्टैंड इट कंप्लीटली एंड टॉक अबाउट इट. भगवान कृष्ण हिमसेल्फ इज सेइंग शब्द ब्रह्म सुदुर्बोधम अनंतपारम गंभीरम दुर्विगाह्यम समुद्रवातु, like samudra. Then where it is expressing this Veda, this is the most important sentence, very tough. He says prana indriya manomayam. In fact, from Paramatma's prana indriya mana only entire Vedas have come. So too in our own individual personal life, when the prana indriya mana are properly niyantrita with various yogas, then only the Shabda Brahma to some extent it can be understood. Okay. Now the genesis of the Vedas. Vedas are what now? It is Shabda Brahma. Brahma through the becoming of Shabda in the first instance slowly became the Aksharas, then became Pada, then the Artha of the Pada, then the Vakyas, Vakyartha. All of that is hidden in the Vedas. वेद क्या है? शब्द है. शब्द राशि इज वेद. But in that shabda, it is not a meaningless shabda. It is lot of artha is there in that. So, three levels. Prana, Indriya, Mana. First at the Nabhi level, the shabda expresses as Om. Then it goes to the mana level and becomes the thought. Nada Shabda at the Nabhi becomes Vritti Shabda at the level of our mana, Manomaya, Shabda. This is how it expressed. Then at the third level, through the Vagindriya as the speech, through all other Indriyas as whatever those Indriyas can do the work, that way the Shabda expresses. So it is in the Prana Shakti form, the Omkara, Paramatma, Shabda, Brahmatva, is the Shakti as Prana in the Navi. Then when it comes to Mana Ityadi, it takes the position of the Sankalpa Ityadi, and through the Indriyas of hands, legs, mouth, etc., it expresses as work or the speech. So whatever the Sankalpas, thoughts I have, they're all Shabda Rupa only, Sukshma Shabda Rupa. Whatever speech I speak also is Shabda only. The speaking speech is called as Vaikari Vani. The speech in the mind level in the form of thoughts is called as Madhyama Vani. Then the speech which is undifferentiated is called as Pashyanti Vani in the Nabhi. Before that, there is another very sublime form of the speech that is called Paravani. The Paravani and Paramatma are one. In the Vani Drushti, that is called as Paravani. And what is called as Paravani is Paramatma only. No, that's what Shabda Brahma Sudur Bodham bataya na. Now, how much we have to withdraw our attention of mind, etc., from the world and contemplate on what is said here to trace the origin of Shabda, and through that trace the Shabda's origin called as Paramatma. And in another angle is what? Entire world is nothing but the manipulation, mixing up and modifications of Rupa and Nama only. और कुछ नहीं है. अब इतने इसमें गफलत या कॉम्प्लिकेशन है ये थिंग यू कैन नेवर अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई ऑल ड्रामा इज हैपनिंग. दैट्स व्हाई बुद्धू रहना कभी कभी मजा भी आता है ना. इग्नोरेंस इज ब्लिस. यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड नथिंग इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल. The only certainty in life is about death, and only uncertainty about life is when the death will come, we don't know. In the same way, the only thing that can be understood in the world is that it cannot be understood. इतना इस श्लोक का अर्थ है. नौ शब्द ब्रह्म सुदुर्बोधम प्राणेन्द्रिय मनोमयम अनंत भारम गंभीरम दुर्विगाह्यम समुद्रवत. शब्द ब्रह्म with Vedas. The expanse of Vedas, the depth of the Vedas, the final conclusion of the Vedas. Anantaparam is conclusion. Gambhiram is the depth of it. Durvigahyam is you cannot go through, understand and feel. You cannot go through it and satisfactorily say that I have understood it. That's called Durvigahyam. In fact, somebody doesn't go near to that also. That's called as Sudurbodha. Shabda Brahma Sudurbodham. And you look at the Veda mantras. What is Swara? What is Ucharana? वो समझ में नहीं आता आपको. See how many years we are talking Shastra. You ask me about the Veda mantra, I don't know anything. Some Upanishad mantra because we read Bhashya and somebody commentary Gurudevna, some idea comes to us. But otherwise, straight away, if you are put in front of some Veda mantra and told, वो समझ में नहीं आता हो. सुदुर्बोधम दुर्विगाह्यम गंभीरम अनंतपारम. Okay. Now he says, Mayopabhrumhitam bhumna brahmanananta shaktina bhuteshu ghosharupena viseshurneva lakshate. Mayopabhrumhitam bhumna brahmanananta shaktina bhuteshu ghosharupena viseshurneva lakshate. So, first example, Viseshu urna iva lakshate. Bisatantu taniyasi, you see it also in Lalita Sahasranama. Bisa means the lotus flowers, the piche ka nala. And in that if you open, you see the threads. Means small little portions of it. So Bisha is that nalam, urna is the thread in that nala. So to any cotton you take. In that you can see cotton looks to be one, but उसके अंदर इतने नाड़म होते हैं, अब खींचते जाओ इतने निकलते वहां. So first understand example Bisha and Nala. Bisha tantu taniyasi. Parama mother is that tantu of the visa, इससे भी और पतला है. Same thing in Narayana Upanishad said as Tanvi in that mantra. Tatravidharam gaganamishokas tasminidantas tadupasitavyam. तस्य मध्ये महानग्निर्विश्वार्चिरिषतोगः स्वगर्भो गिजन्तिष्ठन्नाहारमजकवि तिर्यगूर्मदशायि रश्मेस्तस्य सन्तता सन्तापयति सन्देतमाहामलः तस्य मध्ये वह्निशिखा अणियोर्ध्वा व्यवस्थितः नीलतोयदमध्यस्थात् विद्युल्लेखभास्वरा नीवारशूकवत् तन्वी. It's very thin, 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 thin. A thin wala word, he took it from Tanvi only. Now listen this shloka. What he says, one by one, what you try to understand. Maya upabrahmitam. Maya upabrahmitam means because of my presence, this Veda in every human being is made expanded. And who am I? Who am I is what? Bhumna Brahmana Ananta Shaktina. Bhumana is that is which is bigger than the biggest. Brahmana is that bigger than the biggest is called as Brahma in the Vedas. Ananta Shakti means that Brahma only has Maya in his control, called as Ananta Shakti. So Ananta Shakti Vana सर्वव्यापी सब कुछ जानने वाला मेरे द्वारा उपब्रह्मण किया जाता है ये शब्द सब जीवों में भूतेषु in what form घोष रूपेण in the form of that silently continuously happening the ghosha or the sound. Now it's a very complicated subject. Do you know in this world everything which is there in the form of form, every one of them are continuously making some nada. बिना साउंड का कोई जगत में वस्तु है ही नहीं. You should have only the ears to listen that. You know some of us like inhaling, exhaling हो रहा है तो थोड़ा सा आपको आवाज सुनाई देता. And we put the hand on your heart, that lab dub that naad सुनाई देता है. But do you know your kidney and pancreas and liver, all of the parts, every part, every cell is making its own small naad. बिना नाद का कोई नहीं इस दुनिया में. You go to a tree, the roots are making their own nada. The trunk is making its own nada. The branches, the leaves, सारा ये विश्व पूरा नादमयम ही है. About that primordial nada, Bhagavan is speaking. That I am the one staying in every being, expressed as that Sukshma Nada. Listen, from that Nada only, all the parts of the body, functionings of the body, abilities of the body, every one of them are expression of that Sukshma Nada only. That is called Anahata Nada. You know, you close your ears, you will see a sound, listen a sound there. You put a conch in your ear, there is sound coming. एवरीवेयर देयर इज. जहां भी ज्ञान हो रहा है वहां नाद है, जहां भी क्रिया हो रहा है वहां नाद है, जहां भी वस्तुएं ऐसे स्थगित है मतलब दे आर स्टेशनरी, इन दैट आल्सो नाद इज गोइंग ऑन. दे साउंड इन द माउंटेन, river sound we know, ocean sound we know, that wind sound we know, but even mountain is making its own sound. आकाश का भी अपना शब्द होता है, आकाश का गुण ही शब्द है. So read 2-3 times. Maya upabrahmitam. Maya bhumna brahmana ananta shaktina bhuteshu ghosha rupena upabrahmitam. Viseshu urna iva lakshyate. So this is how that nada rupa vani in the beginning expresses in the beings by the presence of Lord. Now he is talking the genesis of the shabda. जो शब्द अब मैं बोल रहा हूं आपसे इसका जेनेसिस इज सेइंग. See the word when I speak, you listen and you interpret its English language. These are the words. This is the theme. But in me, before it came out of the mouth as a word, in the what form it was there inside, that is the whole thing is explained in these 4 or 5 shlokas. But first and foremost, it is presence of the pure Paramatma, whose expansion is called the sound. Expansion ka ho, expression ka ho, grossification ka ho, word whatever you use, for the sake of transaction, interaction, the shabdas, padas are required, but they come from the primordial sound, Paramatma only prompting that sound to express. If you see, I'm telling a totally different track thing for 10 seconds. If somebody is able to apprehend that silent nada undifferentiated, he is one with Brahma. He is very close to Paramatma. Remember, the earth is moving, it is making its own nada. सूर्य भगवान का अपना नाद है, दो ओंकार करके नासा ने पता किया ना 1 साल पहले. एवरी ग्रह नक्षत्र ऑल ऑफ देम आर नाद कर रहे, and some ultimately they merge in nada only. Then the nada merges in the Brahma. Shabda Brahma, nada kehte hain, that merges in Parabrahma. Keep it in mind. These all will not be revealed in today's class. Some 10, 120, and 2000 lives you have to live through Yoga Shakti, Yoga Sadhana. Then these are all facts revealed to us. But we are reading Bhagavata as an academics in that topic came. So we are trying to put our brains to understand little. Now, how all that happens? These are the 3 very important slokas. Very detailed they are given. We try to chant them, see literal meaning for you all. Ki yathornanavir hrudayat urnamudvamate mukhat akashat goshavan pranaha manasa sparsharupina छंदोमयो अमृतमयः सहस्रपदवीं प्रभुः ओंकारात् व्यंजितः स्पर्श स्वरोष्मान्तस्थभूषितां विचित्रभाषा विचित्रिततां छन्दोभिश्चतुरुत्तरैः अनन्तपारां बृहतीम सृजत्याक्षिपते स्वयं. भगवान भी हंसे होंगे आफ्टर दिस टॉपिक. अरे मैंने क्या बोल दिया. मेरे को लगता है व्यास जी तो भी लिखेंगे भी, पर लोग जो भागवत पढ़ेंगे यहाँ तो फंस ही जाएंगे. He must have thought. Here today we'll understand only the example. The remaining we'll see tomorrow. What is spoken here about? What is spoken here about is the 4 big chunks of Vedas. Okay? They are the books. In those books, there are papers are there. Nowadays, those days, the Talapatras. On that, some things are written. Shapes, syllables. They are all conveniences. Those written shapes are nothing but representatives of the Akshara. Is it not? जो वेद में या किसी बुक में जो इस रूप में लिखे, whatever they are written, they are all nothing but the sounds in those symbols. All Vedas are written in the mantra. All the mantras are the some connotations written with the pencil or pen, but all of them represent what? The sounds only. When you read a book, the aksharas are what? The sounds only. Symbolize that way. Up to this you understand. Those Vedas which are nothing but sounds, those sounds, this is our born. And these sounds which are born from the primordial Brahma, listen, express one side as the entire world of forms. Another side express as what to do this with this world, what to gain in this world. In that form of knowledge also the Shabda expresses. तो ओंकार रूपी शब्द से रूपात्मक जगत बना, ओंकार रूपी शब्द से ही उस जगत के नाम भी बने. एंड विद द ओंकार ओनली व्हाट टू डू इन दिस वर्ल्ड, with which one is bound, with which one is liberated, that knowledge also is given. All that is play. But toward the end what? Toward the end all of that get dissolved. What remains is only Parabrahma. That will be saying in the last 2 shlokas. Now what is the example? Yatha urnanavihi hrudayat urnam udvamate mukhat. Same, our Mundaka Upanishad. Yathornanavi srujate grunnate cha यथा पृथिव्याम ओषधयः संभवन्ते यथा सतः पुरुषात् केशलोमानि तथा अक्षरात् संभवतीह विश्वम् तपसा चीयते ब्रह्म ततो न विजायते अन्नात् प्राणो मनः सत्यं लोका कर्मसु चामृतम्. So yatha, just like urnanabi, the spider. Urnam means the thread. Udvamate, throws out, mukhat, from the mouth. Now, from the mouth of the urnanabi, you see the urna coming out. But where is that urna? Where is the manufacturing company for it? Such a huge amount of thing. वो कहाँ से ला रहा है? कभी टेस्ट करना है आपको, क्वेश्चन करना है, वो अपने हृदय से निकाल रहा है. And such a funny source that is, it goes on bringing that urna, वो आता ही रहता है. In the same way, we all are like the Urna. From our own Hrudaya, like the Hrudaya of the Urna, in which Hudaya the Lord is seated. From there only, the endless, infinite, continuous flow of the Shabda is happening. There in the Hridaya, seated Brahma, taking the form of Shabda and relentlessly, continuously going on expressing. First in the Paravani, then in the Pashyantivani, then in the Madhyamavani, then in the Vaikarivani Rupa. एंड हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ वेद काल इन द प्राइमोडियल एज ये सब अंदर का अनुभव था इसलिए कोई बुक्स को लिखने की भी जरूरत नहीं थी एवरीबडी आर वेद पुरुषास बट एज द टाइम पास डिस्ट्रैक्शंस ग्रोन पीपल बिकेम स्ट्रांग ग्रास फॉर सस्टेनिंग द नॉलेज दे आर लेटर ऑन रिटन इन ताड़पत्र एटसेट्रा अदरवाइज इट्स अबाउट माई ओन सेल्फ एवरीथिंग इज सेल्फ इज मी व्हाट इज देयर फॉर इट टू बी रिकॉर्डेड समवेयर इज इट नॉट मेरे को मेरा नाम जानता हूँ ना मैं ओनली व्हेन आई बिकम फॉरगेटफुल और सम डिसीज ऑफ एनीवेयर आई फॉल if that is there then in my pocket there is a card id card aadhar card a letter will be there I have got this particular disease if anywhere I fall please transport me there लिख के रखते हैं कि नहीं कागज जो मूर्छा रोगी है उनको लिख के रखना पड़ता है so people study how this fellow belongs to that they drop is it not otherwise we know ourselves na. In the same way, in those days, everybody knows Brahma. There was no writing required. But आजकल just like Murcha Rogi, we again and again forget the Lord. Therefore, we need all Shastras in the written form. Anyway, this is what. In the same way, Akashat means Hridayakashat, Ghoshavan Pranaha, that the Prana Shakti in the form of the Ghosha, Manasa Sparsha Rupina, from the mind as a thought, it expresses. Once it expresses, Chandomaya, Amrutamaya, Sastra Padavi, Omkarad, Venjita Sparsha Sara Ushmanta Pushtam, Vichitra Bhasha Vishatam, Chandobi Chaturutrai, Anatavaram Rotim, Suji Akshipte Swep. That from the Hridaya, by the prompting of Paramatma only, as a Sankalpa, then as variety of Shabdas, the entire world of Shabda Rashi come in the world, which is written in the form of books, they are called as Veda. And in that, again, what is there? The Aksharas. Aksharas combined are Shabda. All the Shabda together is Vakya. Vakya convey the Jnanam. The Jnanams are two types. One is Brahma Jnanam, Tattva Jnanam. Second is Laukika Jnanam. And in the Brahma Jnana Vicharana, in the Laukika Jnana, Karma Kanda Upasana. These slokas have to be so many angles to be studied, then the summary is gained. So one more day when we spend, little more clarity comes. Tomorrow we will see. What is said here is what? The books, Vedas are nothing but when the Rishi was seated on seat of meditation, the Paramatma who is there in his own heart slowly took the form of Shabda, and that Shabda only as Sankalpa in the mind, then the Vani in the mouth it came, he uttered it, other disciple noted it. That's it. First noted by memory only. By memory only it was noted. Shishya used to sit next to Guru. Guru in this ecstasy of Anubhava, some words should to come to him. These disciples, they should know the Shabda. There were no Aksharas that time. Only Shabdas were there. Then to those Shabdas and Aksharas were codified later. Then the language came. That was helpful to us. So there first was Jnanam. Jnanam became Shabdam. Shabdam became Aksharas. Aksharas became Vakya. Our process is what? First we study Aksharas. From the Akshara we understand Shabda. From the Shabda we understand Vakya. From the Vakya we understand Jnanam. This is our process. But in the earlier stage, it was Anubhuti, then Jnanam, then the Jnanam only Shabda Rupa. Shabda ko Akshar diya hai. Ka is like this. Without like this also ka you can utter. But what is ka? To know a shape is given. Only to differentiate it from ga and ja and ta. सब शब्द ही है ना बाबा. शब्द को आप रूप दिए हो और सेम शब्द इन ईच लैंग्वेज डिफरेंट वे इट इज रिटन. का व्हाट इज रिटन इन तेलुगु, इन कन्नड़ा, इन तमिल, इन इंग्लिश, इन हिंदी, गुजराती, एक एक भाषा में अलग ही होता है उसका लिपि. Lipi is not important. Through that lipi, the Shabdas are important. Shabda is not important. Through that Brahma is important. Parabrahma only through Shabda he expressed the entire Veda. It's a very typical subject. I tell you, we'll spend, if not now, in some other place, To revel in this topic and catch hold of some rishis or anybody, we ask them, Maharaj, आप तूने अपने योग स्थिति में जाकर इन श्लोकों का अर्थ समझ कर सारा you tell us. बाकी थिंग हम पढ़ सकते हैं, but this is little higher. Let me see if I find someone who can tell us. We are understanding, but the feeling of it deeply inside, how the Parabrahma is manifesting as Shabda, expressing as Sankalpa, and vocally it coming out as Aksharas. All that. Eh? Then this itself is in the form of variety of Aksharas, depending on the writing those Aksharas in the form of the words and sentences. The way the mantras are divided into variety of Chandas. Among them, the first Chandas is Gayatri. To the Gayatri Chanda, when you add 4 more Aksharas, it becomes next Chanda. 4 more, next, 4 more, next. That's how the 11 Chandas that are mentioned here in the 41st mantra. Gayatri, Ushniku, Anushtupu, Brohati, Pankti, Trishtupu, Jagati, Ati Chandaha, Ati Ashti, Ati Jagatu, Ati Virat. Exactly in 12 Chanda, the entire Veda mantras are written. No, all the chandas mein Veda mantra likhe. Every Veda mantra has only aksharas. Aksharas are nothing but shabda. Shabdas are nothing but thoughts. Thoughts are nothing but sukshma shabda. Sukshma shabda came from the hridaya. In hridaya, how the shabda came is from Paramatma. That's called Maya Upapramhitam in the earlier mantra. Here also, Yatha Urananabi example diya. Then Akashat Goshavan. Here Akasha is Hridaya Akash. The Dahara Akash. The Chidakash. So these things little bit will touch. Tomorrow we will see. Sarvam Krishna Arpanam Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, superficially, this particular portion of Bhagavata study doesn't help in sadhana. But deeply, if you see, this alone takes us to the truth without any sadhana. Because with all this understanding thoroughly, we dissolve Vedas, Veda mantras, their artha, their thoughts, all of that into Parabrahma. Because सत्य पता चल गया, रहस्य पता चला, एक ही परब्रह्म इतने रूप में है, then all that get dissolved only. Then you realize in that. Otherwise, no, these are such portions which appear to be not required, but इसमें मजा actually होती है, but सब लायक नहीं होते इसके लिए. That's the only problem. We will see further tomorrow. Thank you. सर्वम श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. आ जाओ कल हम इसका अच्छा पोर्शन देखेंगे. Now we will enter into our Valmiki Ramayana and we will enter into Pushpaka Vimana today along with Lord Rama.